exhibitionist kind of poses and so forth, it seems a little difficult to reconcile your agony at appearing in public and the fact that you appear in public in the most exposed kind of fashion.
It's just as difficult for me to walk into a cocktail party as it is to be on the stage, because when people are looking at me, it makes me nervous. On the stage, I'm just a little more terrified than if I were to walk into a room full of people I didn't know.
Why does this terrify you so? Do you know? Have you ever tried to analyze it for yourself, or have somebody else try to analyze it for you?
No.
So many people in your business, my business, succumb or go to psychoanalysts. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about spending some time trying to find out who you are, why you feel the way that you do?
Yes, I've thought about it, but I don't think I'll go to one.
Why not?
Well, I think I'll get out of this business very soon, and then my problem will be finished.
You've been in it for how many years?
15 or 16 now.
Mm-hmm. And you say you're going to get out of it pretty soon?
Yes. My husband is going to business and have a restaurant, and I'll stay home and forget about it.
You're a married woman, as you and I have both pointed out. How does your husband feel about his wife disrobing and dancing provocatively in public? Last night I went to see you at the Crescendo, where you're dancing here in Hollywood. And I must say that it's a very effective, really kind of a beautiful act. But I thought to myself, I wonder how I would feel if my wife were up there performing in that fashion, taking off her clothes in front of a bunch of people who are vaguely intoxicated in any case, fairly noisy, except at the crucial time when you could suddenly hear a pin drop in the club. How does your husband feel about this?
My husband is very anxious to go into business and to have me stop it.
How long have you been married?
2 years.
And was this never discussed ahead of time? In other words, when you and your husband were courting, did he never say to you, Lily, look, please let's not do this?
Yes, but I was in no financial position to stop. I'm always 1 year behind in my debts. And
I guess we all are.
I always have to make money to pay for things, and now I'm caught up and I'll be stopping.
Now, what kind of a business do you think that you're going into business with your husband, or are you just going to be a housewife and forget the bright lights?
I'll be the housewife and forget the bright lights gladly, and he'll go into the business and forget the bright lights gladly too, I think.
Truly. Mm-hmm. I gather from what you say you don't like show business really at all, and you don't like show business people very much either.
Well, it's a false sort of business. When you are acting in any form, you must be false because you're acting. You're not being yourself. You're not contributing anything really to anything.
You're entertaining. Isn't that just enough all by itself? You're helping people to forget their troubles momentarily. You're taking them out of themselves. Certainly there should be some pride in that kind of performance and that kind of contribution.
I think doctors and nurses and people who build houses and people who work constructively contribute much more, and I'd be much more proud of myself if I could do that.
You don't like yourself very much.
No.
Do you know why?
Maybe because of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you quit, do you intend to raise a family?
No.
You're very definite about that. Why?
I feel the world is overpopulated as it is. I have no obligation to contribute any more babies.
So many I guess every psychologist since Freud has said that childbearing is as important and fulfilling to a normal woman as love and marriage. You don't feel the least bit unfulfilled or incomplete without a child of your own.
No, I don't. If I did, I would try to adopt a child who needs a good home.
Do you think that you would be a fit mother?
Yes.
But you don't want children. Why do you think that most women do want children?
There are many reasons. Quite often, women who have no other interest certainly need children.
But when you quit and you're out of the business, what will be your interest?
I don't know.
Do you consider marriage itself important? I understand that you said, I don't believe in marriage as an institution. I see no need to formally legalize such relationships.
No, if you love someone and you want to live with them, the moment you decide that you're married without any law to say so.
Under those circumstances, why did you marry again 2 years ago?
I live in this culture. It's illegal to live with anyone without being married.
What do you think of our alimony laws, which generally force a man divorcing his wife, or when she divorces him, let's say there are no children, to support her with as much money as his own income can bear?
I think it's very unfair. It's a result of marriage, of course. If there were no marriage, there would be no alimony and no divorce.
Apropos of this, Lili, in a moment, I'd like to ask you about something that you once said that you may or may not remember. You said this to me. I believe in flying saucers. I think there is life on Venus, and that among the men on the planet Venus, there will be less lust and less greed. I'd like to know what you meant by that. And we'll get the answer to that question in just a minute.
Something's new here, but it isn't the melody. That's a grand old classic. It's the piano that's new. They just moved it in. There's something else new here, too. Philip Morris. You'll know the minute you smoke Philip Morris. Try 'em and see. Philip Morris tastes natural, and people who try it like it. They also like the man's kind of mildness in Philip Morris. No filter, no fooling. Nothing artificial between you and the tobacco itself. The box is crush-proof. Keeps your cigarettes firm and fresh from first to last. Smoked a Philip Morris lately? Get with it. Natural taste, man's kind of mildness, crush-proof box. Get with Philip Morris. Probably the best natural smoke you ever tasted.
Get with Philip Morris in regular pack or crush-proof box, probably the best natural smoke you ever tasted. Now then, Lili, you said, I believe in flying saucers. You said this about 5 years ago to me at the Park Avenue Club in New York on 52nd Street. I don't think you remember that you met me then. You said, I believe in flying saucers. I think there's life on Venus, and that among the men on the planet Venus there will be less lust, less greed. What do you mean?
These people are obviously more advanced than we are. So they must be more advanced in their emotions and more civilized than we are.
You really believe in the fact of flying saucers and the fact that they originate not here on Earth, in Russia or in the United States or any place, but rather in other planets?
They can be born on their own planet, of course, but I believe they exist, and that they are seen. There have been many sightings, and their manner of flying indicates that they're many, many years ahead of us.
Lili, what kind of religious upbringing did you have, if I may Briefly, what are your religious beliefs?
I have my own religion. I believe in doing the right thing, never hurting anyone, helping anyone if I possibly can.
Did you have any formal religious training?
By that you mean the religions that are generally accepted?
Yes.
No.
In your family, you did not. What about politics? Do you have any interest in that at all?
No.
Out of your field?
I'm not interested in it.
Why not?
I can't tell you why, except perhaps I've always been so busy with my own little world that I haven't had time to read. And
What would you say is your most consuming interest? Is it possible that your most consuming interest is yourself? I'm sure that's probably true of all of us, that our most consuming interest. But aside from yourself, what interests you most? What excites you? What moves you?
I'm always so busy working and the things that it involves. I have no one helping me, and I must answer all the letters and make all the arrangements and do so many things all day long that I never seem to have time to have a hobby or anything. I like to read.
What kind of things do you read?
Everything.
Is it possible, do you think that with your preoccupation with your business, your body, your beauty, are you afraid of growing old, of growing ugly?
Yes.
That does worry you?
Yes.
And do you have anything in your emotional or your spiritual bank, so to speak, to keep you when you have lost your beauty? When I say lost your beauty, I mean lost the flush of young beauty.
I don't know.
Lili, you don't respect marriage, particularly, as such, legal marriage. You have no particular interest in children, politics, formal religion as we know it. What kind of a world do you think this would be if everyone were like you?
Well, since I don't hurt anyone, and since I have my own little kind of religion, then no one would ever hurt anyone else.
Lili, I thank you for taking this half hour and talking to us here in Hollywood. The average stripteaser in burlesque paints a rather saintly picture of herself. Most of them claim to lead conventional lives and think conventional thoughts. I think especially for that reason, Lili St Cyr is intriguingly different. Her unconventional social attitudes seem somehow to befit her unconventional profession.